257 Jazz Studies. Welcome to this audio blog installment of 257's Learn About Jazz. Visit us online at 257.com. That's IIV7.com. What is jazz anyway? Part 2 in a 3-part series. Ever since the beginnings of cakewalk parties, probably the early 1800s, at the slave camps near the old southern plantation homes, slave couples would dance in imitation and caricature of the ballroom dances performed by the white slave owners in their big houses, which were also the dances performed at balls and parties in Europe, making it up as they go along. The dancers competed with each other to be the most outlandish imitations of the stuffy, prim, and prancing dancers. But the dancers needed music to dance to. They needed a band. The band's instrumentation may have consisted of banjo or guitar, maybe some wind instruments like trumpet, trombone, or clarinet, and various percussion instruments. Obviously, these bands couldn't play the exact same music performed up in the big house. The musicians would have wanted to imitate the music in the same way the dance was being imitated, with a lot of imagination and humor. They would have parodied the dance music of the European tradition. But what could they do to pull it off? Enter jazz. Jazzing up the 19th century. Sure, they jazzed up the music, they altered the tempos, and they loosened up the strict dotted 8th, 16th note rhythms to create a swing rhythm that made it easier to dance. It wasn't called jazz, and all I can do is speculate that it happened that way. There was no written music of that style, but given the way jazz evolved from where we can recognize it, it's not hard to imagine that the practice of jazz is older than we think. Jazz gumbo. Some of the devices used in jazz, like swing rhythm, extension, and alteration of harmony, may or may not all be present in a song that is considered to be jazz. Since jazz is really a seasoning, it can be added as much or as little as needed to convey the artist or performer's message. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Visit us today at 257.com. Study jazz with our free tutorials and join our mailing list to get the latest updates. That's IIV7.com.